Under Astro's Wonderbox Plus version 3, and I'm going to replace my power hub. We're going to get into this installation. We're going to get into the software installation and setup. So anyway, stick with me. My name is Doug. This is AstroAF, and this is the Wonderbox Plus version 3. So the first thing I need to do is go ahead and remove my old power box from this mounting plate, and there's only one screw that needs to be removed in order to do that. One thing I don't know is if the screw that I have here is long enough to make it through the plate and into the mounting hole on the Wonderbox. I have a couple more screws, but I don't know if they're too long, so potentially a trip to the hardware store. We'll take a look. Anyway, I'll head over and put this on the table and get to work on it. So this is pretty simple here. I just need to remove this one screw from here, but it removes from the top. So this is that little 3D bracket that I designed for this, and then there's that one screw that's inside there. That thread is different, and I don't know that this will work, because that won't get down far enough to clear. Okay, so I keep a box of stuff around that I need. Let's see if I'm lucky enough to have a screw that will work. These are M6 here, so if they're the right length, then the head will work. This one's a pan head, but it's pretty shallow, so we'll see if that'll work. Save me a trip to the hardware store. Okay, that's the right thread, so just need to know if it's the right depth. Yeah, got a little bit there. I kind of want to, I don't know if it'll take up too much space, but the stuff compresses a lot. I think I'm going to put a couple strips of foam on here. And let's see, this part moves, so I'll need to figure that out. I guess we can just go, maybe go across. Okay, and then orientation. So I want this facing this direction. Yep. This will be my power cable for my mini PC, which will go here, and then right around over into the mini PC, which will sit on this side of it. At this point, you go back to the scope. All right, it's a little bit windy out, so hopefully it's not too bad in the microphone here. So the first thing I'm going to do is unplug everything, and I want to relocate the mini PC up front here, and that's because my wiring harness length, I want to plug all the USBs into the Wonderbox, and so I'll position it down here. So basically just unplugged everything. No Spideys underneath there. I don't think I'm going to need this USB hub anymore. And then I'm going to locate that up here for now. I'll probably move it. And then I'm going to put the Wonderbox down here with all the USB ports this way. And then the power point here is going to be coming up to the PC, so I can keep the cable real short on that. And we'll just see how close I can get it. But I should be able to plug all my USBs in here. Yeah, that's long enough, so about the same length. All right, so now I'll go ahead and get prepared to start wiring things up. So hey, if you're enjoying this content and this is helping you out in some way, please consider subscribing and leave a like. That really helps out a lot, and I really appreciate it. If you want to support this channel and more videos like what I'm doing here and astrophotography stuff, I have a Buy Me a Coffee. You can become a member for as little as $1 a month, and I'd love to have you. I have a Discord server. If you join over at Buy Me a Coffee, you get access to the members area over there. Your support is greatly appreciated, and get back to the video. Thanks so much. All right, I'm going to do power first. So we'll power to the PC, which powers through a USB-C and into the always on, which is the DC1 input here. All right, and then I need to, let's see, keep doing power here. I no longer need this cable. If I can get it out of here. So I've got power to my camera. So I'm gonna put this on a switched power over here, and I have power to my electronic focuser, which will also be on switched power. I believe that is it. Now I've got GPS, and I'll put it in USB 2.0 slot 1. Okay, and then I'm going to put my mount into a 2.0 slot 2. That's my EQ mod cable. All right, then I'm going to put the focuser into the 2.0 slot 3, and then I've got my 2 cameras here, and so these are going to go into the USB 3.0 slots. I'm going to put the guide camera in the slot 2 and the main camera in USB slot 1. Network cable, which, so now I'll relocate this, install the network cable. I have to tidy these up a little bit. And then this is the power cable here, and I'm actually going to replace my power supply because this is 5.5 by 2.1 millimeter, and I've got another power supply 10 amp with a 5.5 by 2.5 millimeter. So power to the dew heater, I have a separate cable for that. And yeah, let me see where I'm at. All right, so I've got the environment sensor here, which plugs in to this DH222 port. And I am thinking that I'm going to route this underneath here maybe. So that's just gonna hang for a while. And then I've got the temperature probe, and I'm going to do like a custom mount into this with some clips that I got. So I'm gonna plug this in, and this will just hang as well for now because I need to do that. And this is the USB cable going to the PC. It's a USB B to A. I might look at replacing this cable and see if I can find like a 90 degree so that this isn't sticking out, because I do worry about this getting hit and damaging the USB port on the PC. And all right, so we've got the mount is wired up, the cameras, the GPS, got the focuser, and that's basically everything. I'm going to reroute this wire now so it goes under. And again, I'm going to have to do something with wire management on this stuff. But we'll let it sit for right now. It's not that important. All right. So I think at this point, I can bring power to this. So I'm going to replace the power adapter next. All right, so down here in the utility closet, I'm going to replace this power. I think there was a big Spidey in the back of that. Can let that hang. All right, I've decided to mount the environment sensor under here because I have another threaded hole. And I brought a couple screws with me because I wasn't sure what size that was. Let's see. It just needs to be a short one. Make sure that isn't too long. No, that's the shortest one I have. I think it'll work. And I can run this sensor. I'm running it up through underneath. Yeah, that doesn't fit. I don't know if I really don't want to put it underneath that one. Let's see, should I drill that out? I'm thinking I'm going to drill this out. Yeah, let's do it. I think this is the best place to put this. All right. All right, so this should just not right up in there. Just like that. And I'll need to figure out what to do with the rest of the cable here. All right, so the next thing I want to do is run this temperature sensor, and I want to like route it like this, and then I'll bring it in, and I've got some little clips that I'm going to use to affix this in there, and they've got just some little hooks on them, so I can put this in and hold it, and then I can take it out, so I don't want to drill through my cap here. So, and just like the other cable that's in there for the dew heater, when I take the cap off, I have a little clip that goes on the outside edge here that holds the cables in, and then I'll just have to disconnect it when I'm not using it. All right, so I made some headway. I did a little bit of cable cleanup off camera, and I thought I'd show you around that real quick. I only have one thing left to do, and that's to go ahead and attach the temperature probe. And so I'll set the camera up for that in just a minute, but let me show you around. So you saw me mount the environmental sensor there, and it's got some clearance, so that should be fine, I think. And I ran some little wire clips, and these things are pretty handy. And I came back around the underside here and added another wire clip, if I can get in focus there. And then I added a wire clip on this side for the USB cable. And then I've got a multi kind of loom clip here holding 3 wires, which is the temperature probe and the environmental sensor, and then I've got my Cat 5 cable running through there. When I take the scope off the mount, I need to be able to disconnect the Cat 5 cables, so these are handy. I can just unclip them. And then over here, I have a couple more clips, and that's for that USB cable that's running to the mini PC up here. Sunshine is getting bright in the image here. All right, let's move around to the front and get the temperature probe hooked up. All right, so I've got this little clip right here that this one's the Celestron, and this is what holds the dew heater cable as it comes through, and this clips on the edge of the OTA there. And I put an extra little cable clip in here because this cable's thin and I can run it through. But then I'm always wondering what to do with this anyway, so when I'm not using this, I can just sort of let it hang here, I guess, or tuck it in somewhere. But now I won't have to worry about losing this. To start with, this is going to come through this little loom here, just like that, and that'll hold it in place. And then I'm going to run this into the inside, and I'm not sure exactly where, and then tuck it up along the edge, touching the dew heater ring. And I've got a little black clip that I'm going to put inside here. So I'll push this through, and I'll set this down in here to try and kind of hold that in place, maybe like right in that area. It's not protruding into the corrector plate. Now on this side, I want to add another cable loom right here because this is where I want to turn it down. So this just has like peel back tape on it, this 3M stuff. And peel that off. And then I'm going to stick that right on here on the edge of my rail, which is a really good place. It sticks really well, and these are just low enough that I can actually slide something over the top of them. So I don't think they interfere. I just press them on real hard. And I can go like that. And we'll tuck that right there and come up through here. Like so, and hold that. And then here on the front, I just need to decide what I want to do. I think I can just run it around like that. Take up the extra, maybe put an additional clip in here. And then so I'm just getting that far over to the edge as I can. I think I'm still going to be able to get my lens cap on because there's kind of a gap in behind these. And then I can slide the temperature probe up through those. And then I think I can tuck this around just like that. Take that over the top like that. That'll lock that in. Keep that underneath. So let's see if I can put the cap on. So to do that, I would remove the dew heater power. Just put that in its clip. And then here, I just pull this out. And then if the lid goes on, put the clips in there, and it does. So I think that should work just fine. I just got one extra step on this. to run this through. And lock that in just like that. Yep. So yeah, I think that's going to work really good. The next thing is to go ahead and get software installed onto the mini PC. So we'll head over to my computer and get that installed and get things set up. All right, so far so good. So now the software side. I've got a remote desktop connection set up to my mini PC out on the scope, and I'm going to go in there. We're going to go to the Wonder Astro website, to their support section, download the drivers, download the Wonder Astro Empire software, which is their Windows control software for all of their hardware devices, and then get into whatever setup configuration is left on that, and then over into Nina to see if we can connect to the ASCOM driver and make sure that everything's working. All right, over here on the Windows PC, if we go over to Wonder Astro's website and then to their support section and downloads, which is where I'm at right now, we've got the Wonder Empire software here, which I'll come back to in just a second. So for my PowerBox here, you can choose which PowerBox you might have. So in my case, I have got the Plus version 3, so I have that selected. And then I downloaded the user's manual here. I started going down and looking at, they have all the specs here and just some basic information on each of the products. And then the driver installation, which is what I'm interested in here. So go ahead and go to wonderastro.com, support download section, as I mentioned. The first download and install this exe file here, ch341ser, and I have downloaded all these already. I haven't installed them yet, and that is found right here on this exe. And I just clicked on the download link, and I've downloaded those to my to the mini PC, and that's underneath the universal USB serial driver. So we'll go ahead and install this now per their instructions. That's this file. All right, so yes, I want to allow this app. This is device driver installation. We're going to install, and this will install into this location apparently. So we'll install. And driver install successful. So the next step is to install Wonder Empire software. And so that, again, was located at the top of the website in their support section, and there's a download link, which I have already downloaded. So I will go over to here, and this is the Wonder Empire Setup exe software. So we'll install that. And yes, I do want to allow this app to make changes. I accept the agreement. And next, we'll install that to program files. And yeah, I'll go ahead and create a desktop shortcut and install. And we'll go ahead and click Finish to exit. All right, in there, I believe we can now go over into Nina and have a look and see if the driver is available. And that's going to be in switches, it appears. So hopefully we see everything connecting. All right, that's a good start. So the first thing I want to do is go over to the switch, and let's go into settings, and WonderBox Plus version 3 is selected, English is selected. The manual documentation said if you only have one device, then they recommend not using a manual selector. So just let it automatically select the COM port and then click OK. All right, and then this came up, and we've got our USBs, and I can name these. So I have a little cheat sheet that I put down here. So on my USBs, I've got GPS mount and focuser in the 2.0s. And then I've got cam and guide. In DC1, I have the mini PC. DC 4 through 6, I have the GPS mount and focuser. And then DC2, I have mount, and DC3, which is the dew heater. So those are customized. And now I can go ahead and hit on connect. And so now what we get, this is our monitor for our voltage and also our environmental sensors. It looks like those are working. And 12 volt is set at the regulated output, which for the mount, that should be fine. This is the switch for the GPS mount, focuser, camera, and guide camera. I can turn on and off the USB. So now I think I can go ahead and connect to the rest of my devices. And hopefully we'll have success on everything. Okay, now we're seeing some voltage consumption and ambient temperature, humidity, dew point. The probe temperature is 13.5 centigrade. Yeah, so I'll need to figure out controlling the dew heater. That's on my to-do list, like tonight. Let's see. I don't think so. Hang on one sec. I'm going to disconnect and go in here again. And, oh, okay. So let's try temperature difference mode and 20 centigrade. So I'll just go with the default here and we'll see how that works tonight. All right. And then we'll connect. So now my dew heater should be running. And the dew heater should be being controlled by the temperature sensor and maintaining 20 degrees above the dew point. All right. So I think at that point, I'm ready to start a session. Hey, this is great. It's working. The things that are on my to-do list on this are to get the dew heater set up and figure out how I want to run that, whether it's going to be through the PMW or if I want to do that just as a manual control at a certain level of voltage, which is the way I've been running it now, and that's been working. And then figure out how things work in the sequences so I can figure out what I want to turn on and off and when I want to do that. And obviously I think I want to disconnect from things first, so I got to go through and figure that out. So when I do, I'll maybe make another video of that, so we'll see. Thank you very much. I hope that you found this video informative and helpful if you're thinking about making a decision for a PowerBox. So far, Wanderer Box, I'm really impressed. It's a beautiful little device and it was easy to install. I consolidated everything. I got rid of a USB hub. I consolidated everything into one device that I need, and I have one port left. So as far as for power is concerned, and if I needed to, I could always add a hub. I don't see why I would add anything else on this telescope. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for hanging out with me and checking out my Wanderer Box Plus version 3 installation and just a quick setup. That wasn't too bad. Anyway, thank you very much. My name is Doug, and this is AstroAF.